Hey guys, and welcome to the second video in the series of making a Next.js headless WordPress blog. Now in this one, what we're going to be doing is going from head to toe on this site and completely styling it. We're going to be using Tailwind CSS and DaisyUI. So we did touch on this in the first video, but we'll be using DaisyUI for the components, so all of these, and we'll be using Tailwind CSS. Now, you will probably need a cheat sheet up as we go along if you want to add some styling of your own with Tailwind CSS. That's if you're not entirely comfortable with all the CSS utility classes that Tailwind offers. So I'll put a link for this in the description and you can have this open as you code along. But this is a great reference for, let's say, for example, font sizes. You want a particular font size. You just type in font size, it will take you here and grab which one you want. And this is great as a way to kind of have like a helping hand as you're learning and developing with Tailwind CSS. But eventually you probably won't need this once you've learned all of these, all the core ones at least. And then you can just use it to look it up. But definitely want to bookmark, definitely want to keep, and that's nerdcave.com/tailwind cheat sheet. So the first thing we really want to do is tidy up this whole section here at the top. This whole header bit, we kind of want this all center aligned and this padded properly, and there's some spacing between the alert. And then we'll have a look at these this hero post here and some of these cards and the footer. And we'll probably look at maybe the posts as well. And then that really should be it styled up. So let's go and sort out the header now. Before we quickly jump into the header, let's just tidy up the README. So we'll delete all that we don't need, and type in a custom Next.js headless WordPress blog, and we'll just put in curious blog. We can get rid of all of this actually. Yeah, we can keep all the other stuff here which is related to how it actually works. So that's fine, that's that done. Yeah, so we can see here in our intro page, we have our theme toggler that we added, and then our other intro section, which is all of this. Let's wrap this all in a div, add a class name, and we will choose flex, flex align center. See how it looks so far. That's a little better. That's all on one line. We'll say justify center. We'll say flex col. Right, so we'll get rid of that. Actually, we don't need that. Add some margin top. Let's give it a bit of spacing. We'll probably get rid of that, and there we go. So what we deleted here was on medium screens and above it will show flex row. We always want it to be in this view. Right, we'll see what is going on here. There's quite a large gap. So there's a lot of margin on the top of this. So margin top 16 will actually say 4. Yeah, and I think that's a lot better now. So I'm happy with that. You can see these links are changing colors too. Brilliant. So that's the header, I would say, somewhat sorted. Let's go to this alert. I think we'll just beef up this alert a little bit more, make it look a bit more interesting. So let's go to the alert component here. And we've got class name border B, BG accent. And then what we want to do is we might want to add padding too. See how that looks for now. So add a little bit of padding. I think that's a lot better. And we'll improve the font size here. So we've got text base for now. Let's go into our cheat sheet and grab a text size that we would prefer. Also, if you want it at a certain resolution, so for example, a large screen and above, you can click these and it will change it for you. But we do not want that. So let's go with text large. just type that in really. Yeah, and that's a lot better now. We probably don't want to change the font to be bold because that would steal attention from the header, which we don't want it to do. And that looks good in dark mode. Right, I think that's a lot nicer now. Okay, this header here. So what I think we want to do with the header is make it match up to our cards down here. And the way we would do that is actually by adding a card component using DaisyUI. So we can see on the DaisyUI site in the component section, we've got cards. So let's click card here. And I believe there's a glass option. Yes, so the glass option. So A, just look how cool that is. But B, that's what we're going to be using for our blog posts. So if we go to, we can go to JSX actually, and grab this, copy that. And we want to go to our hero post, and I think it's here. So if we go see what this contains, so section is all of it. That's the cover image. Yeah, so section is all of it. So let's go down here, add this. Wouldn't worry about this just yet. So cover image, grab that here. Set this to cover image. I'll get the title. So grab the title, put this here. We just put curly braces around it to basically data bind it. So actually, let's get rid of these. Let's add an empty fragment around it to get rid of those red squiggly lines so you guys can see what I'm doing. Now we want to add a link to the post as well, so we'll change this button to a link component. Now it won't actually matter because we're using DaisyUI's class names here to make it into a button, so we don't really need it to natively be a button. And then what we'll do is, where was it, link, so we'll grab href, and yeah, that should be good. Is there anything else? We'll grab date as well. We'll put the date here. Oh, we'll make sure we change this to title as well. And this here, read now, I guess. Change that to that. Avatar, have we put the avatar in? No, let's grab the avatar. And where shall we put it? Let's put it just next to the date. Yes, we'll see how that looks. I think that's pretty much everything. We just need to make sure that this is correct. Oh yeah, we need to just go to the image here, change this alt text here to title, and then obviously if we want to add a title we can. We'll leave it at that for now. Okay, let's check it out. Let's comment this out and go have a look. Interesting. Okay, so the image isn't showing and this isn't full width. So let's change that now. So we've got the width set to 96 and we actually want to set that to full. We'll set the height to full. Cover image wasn't working, so let's go to this. Okay, so right, let's grab this then, let's deconstruct it. So this prop cover image was getting this value and then deconstructing it by adding the rest of this. Where is it? Cover image. It was adding node.source URL, and there we go. So we've got the image showing, we've got the width at full width and full height. Now we've got this little issue on the side. Now I'm wondering why that is. Is there some margin somewhere that's preventing it from going full width? Height, width. Let's set the width here to 100% and see what happens. Okay, so we need to make sure we add width 100% to this cover image styling. So go here, go to class name. I'm gonna grab full width, and there we go. So now that that is fully across, that's beautiful. That looks actually a lot nicer. We do need to sort out this section here. This yeah, needs a little bit of work. I think we'd want the avatar to go on the right. I'm happy where the read now button is. And then this just probably needs to be a bit bigger, especially as it's a hero. So I think we can safely delete all this now. We don't need anything. I don't think. We don't really need this anymore. The empty fragments. That's this section here, the card body. And then this is all the other information, the card title. The card title I want to kind of be its own thing almost. It's the information below that I want. So date and avatar, we can do like this. Let's see, actually let's take this back one step. So down here, excerpt. So this actually should have been excerpt. And then if we go have a look, yeah, we love Next.js. That's fine. So we'll set this to div, and then we'll dangerously set the HTML to this. Okay, right. So we'll just basically borrow that. Okay, so now that that is tidied up, we can probably delete this again. I don't think we need this now. Famous last words. I trust my decision so much, I will delete these fragments. No surrender, no looking back. Okay, cool. This here, so the date and the author. Let's put these in there. In fact, actually, I've got a better idea. We'll take the title and this and put it in its own div. Oh, pretty sure that should have been in there. Interesting. Cool. Right, so that is in that one. Avatar. That should be fine like that. And then this can all go here, and then we'll do class name flex. Right, let's see how that looks. That's fine. Justify. So now we've got them spread apart. So it's on the other side. I mean, it's quite a big gap, but I think it works. I'm happy with that. I think that should work for now. And then, I mean, I guess the other option is that could be on the other side. No, I think it's okay like this. So let's just make this a little bigger, and then we think we're good. So go down here to H2 class name, and we'll go just look up a good font size. Text large. Maybe we need something bigger than that. Let's try 4XL because it's a hero font. So 4's fine. We'll stick with 4. Okay, well, I'm happy with a hero header. I think one thing I would like is the fact that there's this giant image here for this card and you can't click on it to go to the post. You have to click the read now button. I don't actually like that. So what I am going to do is make another link. So grab this and wrap this around the whole thing. In fact, we don't need to do that. We'll just change this to a link. And we'll grab this, a href, pop that in there. And now this is one giant button. We click that. Brilliant, and we can see that works now. So we've gotten through to the post. Let's go back. Amazing. Right, let's work on the more story section. So we're basically going to do the same, but we're going to add some slightly different card styling here, but more or less the same. But let's do that now. So we'll go to more stories and close that down now. And we can see that a lot of this is contained within the post preview component. So we'll go in there and edit that in a moment. What I want to do is probably just add a little bit more spacing between here on more stories and maybe make it a little less prominent. Font size, let's drop that down to 5XL, and we'll add padding 2. It's got margin bottom 8. Let's add a bit of a standardized set of spacing. Right, so let's add padding X. Oops, let's add padding Y. Probably just add a little bit more padding. We'll say 6. We'll just so I think we'll go with PY10, which is padding just on the top and the bottom. So on the Y-axis rather than the X-axis, which would be side to side or on this kind of vertical. Awesome. So let's add a bit more styling here. So we're going to post preview, and then we will go to cover images. Fine. So this is the post preview. So this is essentially what contains the post. It's like the card component. So what we'll do is, happy to keep the majority of this. Let's go to Tailwind. Let's go to card and then grab this again, the glass one. We'll make a fragment just so we can have both next to each other side by side. And then start taking this out. So we'll get the cover image here. We'll grab node and source URL. We'll grab title for the alt and the title. So the title here, we'll be using title again, so 3 times. And then we want the excerpt to go here. So they use this for the excerpt. So we'll pop that down there. We'll put this to read now. Is that what we've set the other one to? Yeah, read now. Oh, we can see that's already changed. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. We do need to add a few more bits and bobs. We want to change this to width full, and we want to grab the avatar, pop that in here, need to get the date. So all of this we want in its own little world, and then grab this. Actually, that's fine as it is. And then we'll wrap all of this again in another div, and we'll do class name flex justify center. Oh wait, that's not right. Justify between. That's the one. Brilliant. Okay, so we've got that there. So what we'll do is we'll just wrap this in a div. We'll go class name align top. There we go. So that's now at the top. We want the date to be a bit more flush with this. Right, so this div has some margin bottom. You can see that's been added there. So MB4, simply delete. And that is all aligned. Excellent. So we now have the date and we have that sorted. And what we can simply do is delete this now. No, we cannot. The link is not sorted. So grab this href here. So that now connects to that. And then we also want, so now if we click read now, brilliant, that takes us to the post. Just on the post whilst we're here, let's make this full width. I think that'll be enough to style it for now. So we'll go on post body, max width full. So that's full width. But this is not. Max width to Excel. Post header, change that to full as well. And that's that now. So that should be full width, which is great. I think that's a nice basic place to be. Let's go back. Right, so we've got this duplicated. So we just need to get rid of this old code. That's all of this up here. Delete that. We don't need the fragments anymore, the empty fragments. We only needed that when we were having both out. Just get this going there. Oh, delete this. Don't need that anymore. Right, so we can see that these are very different heights because the images are different sizes. So we can add a minimum height. So say min height 100 pixels. So if we do something like that, that could probably work. So if we add a min height to these, obviously ignore the fact that I've added it to every image. But yeah, I think we'll do something like that. Okay, so let's go to post preview. Where's the image? So let's open this in here and we'll add a class name. And we'll say, we'll go to the cheat sheet, go to min width, not min width actually, it's min height. Go to min height here, okie dokie, let's go here, see how we get on. Let's set a max height of 500. So I think with this situation, we're not going to be able to solve this particular one with Tailwind, so we can add some custom styling here just to add our own little take on this. So we want min height to be, whoops, we don't need this. So min height to be 500 pixels. There we go. So we have stretched this a little. We could probably go down a little bit so we don't have as much stretch. Maybe we'll say max height. Now it's definitely going to have to be minimum, and we are going to have to do 500 pixels. So it doesn't look like that's quite 500. It's 513. So there we go. That's more of an exact height. So now they're both 515 pixels. Obviously, you would choose images that are more square. But there we go. Those are some cards being used. I think I'm pretty happy with that. What I want to do now is work on this footer, because obviously we've got some issues here. We don't actually want it to say that. So let's jump into the footer and sort this out. Open the footer, and I think we can delete all of this. Save that. Now what we can go and do is go to DaisyUI, and we'll go to the component section, and we'll look for footer, and we'll choose a footer from here. So there's all kinds of footers we can choose. You can get ones that have multiple links on here, which is absolutely fine. But because it's a blog, we probably don't need that much. We probably just want something really simple. Yeah, maybe something like this. Yeah, I think probably something like this. Let's go with this one. Good, so we can go here, delete all that. So we'll have CMS name here. CMS name, don't need all of that. Okay, let's go. I mean, right, I'm primary. Right, let's go have a look. I like that. Much better. That is a lot more cleaner. So that's a very nice clean footer. Let's go back to the main page. This is the blog so far. We have our alert all tidied up. We have our header all tidied up. And we have our hero footer, our hero title and hero post all styled up in our glass card component. We also have glass card components for the individual more stories post. And we now have a new footer. So this is all set up and ready to go for you to use as a blog. But there is one final stage remaining, but we are going to save that for the very last video. And that is deploying this online and onto Vercel, so you can actually use this. And you'll have essentially created a blog using WordPress and Next.js ultimately for free. So if you've enjoyed the journey so far and you're really happy with what we're building, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.